Hi, welcome to Story Time with Nana. Today's story is close to being the end of Let's Be stories, but I want to give a nice shout out to Sadie because she did me a huge favor by coloring these pictures here so that you have a general idea of what this story is about. Let's begin. Let's be goats. Children, time for breakfast, Mommy called out. She had made a big breakfast this morning of fresh eggs from their chickens, hashed brown potatoes from their garden, and wild berries that they had picked yesterday, topped with fresh cream from their cow, Luna. Mommy smiled as she set the table for her family. It was very nice living off their land. The children and Daddy came into the kitchen and were amazed at the feast on the table. Wow, this is from our farm, said Daddy. We are very lucky. We should celebrate, said James. We should celebrate with all of our friends and share some of our food. Why, James, that's a great idea and very thoughtful, Mommy said. Well, I was planning on putting up a play set today in the backyard, Daddy told the children. Maybe we can plan a party and a bonfire tomorrow. Yay, that sounds like lots of fun. We can invite all of our friends we met on our farm and our neighbors, Allison exclaimed. Well, before we get ourselves all worked up, Mommy said, there are some things we need to do around here before we have company over. First, we need to let our friends and neighbors know that we're even having a party, and then we need to get ready for our company. The farmer family began making plans for their party while they finished eating breakfast. And after breakfast, the children helped clean off the table, and while Mommy washed the dishes, the children wrote up invitations for their neighbors. And once everyone was dressed and ready, Daddy went out to the backyard to build the playset, and Mommy and the children headed up the driveway to the main street so they could hand out their invitations to all their neighbors. The first house they came to was Mr. Joe's house. He used to be a musician, and every now and then he would come over and the family would sit on the front porch while Mr. Joe played the guitar, and the children would usually sing along with him. Hello, Mr. Joe, said Allison when he opened the door. We're having a party tomorrow and wondering if you would like to come. Why, thank you for the invite, said Mr. Joe. I would love to come over. I will bring some instruments and we can have a real hoedown. Say, Mr. Joe, I noticed when we were walking up to your door there was some trash along the ditch near the street. If you give me a bag, I can pick it up for you, Lena told him. Why, that's very nice of you, Lena, said Mr. Joe. Since you all are going to be walking along the road, maybe you can pick up some trash along the way. It might make the walk really interesting. See who can pick up the most trash. That sounds like fun, answered Nora. Mr. Joe handed each of the children a bag of their own as they left to go to the next house to deliver their invitation. Hey, I have an idea, said Nora. Let's be goats. We can pretend that our trash bag is really our stomach, and while we're eating all of the trash along the way, putting it in the bag. That's a great idea, said Danny. I'm going to be a billy goat, and I have really big horns, and I use them to knock things over and to dig, and sometimes I even butt into other goats just to get their attention. Well, I'm going to be the oldest and the wisest of all the goats, said Nora. All of the other goats come to me when they need help with a problem. I'm going to be a little pygmy goat, said James. And even though I'm very little, I can eat the most food of all the goats. And sometimes when the other goats don't finish their dinner, I finish it for them because I can eat a lot. Well, I'm going to be the goat with the sharpest teeth, Lena said. I don't eat a lot like James, but I can chew through the toughest of things. Well, I'm going to be the strongest goat of all the goats, Allison exclaimed. All of the other goats come to me when they have problem and they need moving things. The goats walked along the roadway, eating up all of the trash, and sometimes Danny would butt into one of the other goats with his horns, and the goats would laugh and laugh. And every now and then, a car would drive by, and people would yell out their car windows things like, "Good job! Thank you! You're amazing!" And the goats felt very proud of themselves. Mommy did remind them to stay on this side of the ditch and stay away from the road. The goats continued filling their bellies with trash as Mommy delivered invitations to their neighbors. And Mommy was on the front porch of the last house talking to Mr. and Mrs. Hart. They were talking about the party, and the goats were still eating up trash when they heard a soft screeching sound. "What is that?" said James. "It sounds like someone screaming. It's coming from inside the ditch." All the goats ran to where they heard the screeching sound, and deep in the ditch, amongst some of the trash, was an eagle. And she was tangled up in the trash, and there was red ribbon wrapped all around her wing. And the eagle screeched again, and then when she looked up, she saw the 5 goats looking down at her. "Help me," she cried. "I'm stuck in all this trash, and this ribbon is tied around my wing. I cannot fly." "What is your name, and how did you get down in there?" Allison asked her. "My name is Cadence, and I'm an American eagle, and I was just flying along, minding my own business, when out of the corner of my eye, I spotted some movement and in the ditch, and I thought, that could be my next lunch. But when I swooped down, I got caught in the trash, and as I tried to fly out, this red ribbon got all tangled up around me." Cadence told them, "Do you think you can help me?" "I'm pretty sure we can help you," said Nora. "First, we need to come up with a plan, and since I'm the wisest of all the goats, I will come down to you and figure out the best way to help you." And Nora Goat made her way down to where Cadence was stuck. "Well, we need to get this ribbon off you first, and it looks like your talons are stuck in the mud, not to mention all of the other trash just weighing you down." She looked up at the goat standing at the top of the ditch. "Lena, I need you first," Nora called out. "You have the strongest jaws. We're going to need you to chew off the ribbon that's wrapped around our new friend's wing." And Lena bounded down to where Cadence was stuck and began chomping on that ribbon. "James, I need you next," yelled Nora. "There's still a lot of trash around Cadence, and since you're the fastest eater, we need that cleaned up before Danny and Allison can help free her." And James came running down into the ditch and began eating all of the trash around Cadence. "Okay, Cadence is free from the ribbon and all of the trash around her, but she's still stuck in the mud." "I need you, Allison and Danny," Nora said, and Allison and Danny came bounding down into the ditch. "What do you need us to do?" asked Allison. "First," Nora told them, "I need Danny to dig around Cadence with his mighty horns, being careful not to hurt our friend. And I need you, Allison, to gently pull Cadence out of the mud." Danny went to work digging around Cadence, and it was really easy work for him because he had those big, strong horns. And James and Lena had done a really good job cleaning up all of that trash. And as he dug around their eagle friend, Allison gently tugged Cadence until she was finally free. And Cadence spread out her wings, gave them a shake, and took off out of the ditch. "Thank you, goats," she yelled. "See you around the farm," she screeched as she flew in a giant circle around the goats. She was really a beautiful sight, soaring so gracefully in the sky. "You're welcome," the goats called up to her. "It was very nice meeting you. See you tomorrow at our party." "Oh my," their mother said as she came running towards them. "Did you children see that beautiful eagle?" "Yes, Mommy, we saved her. We were being goats," Lena said. "Her name is Cadence, and she got stuck in some trash in the ditch, and we helped to get her free." "Well, she certainly is beautiful, and lucky, too, that you all came along to help her. Let's get home now and see how Daddy's doing with the playset," Mommy said. "We still have things to do at home to get ready for our party. You can be goats another day." And the goats turned back into children and ran all the way home to tell their daddy about Cadence, their new friend, the eagle. The end. So that's this week's story. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed telling you. Please go to my YouTube, my Reddit, Instagram. I now have a Twitter account. I'll have that all posted for you. I can't wait till next week. It's the last of the Let's Be stories. I'm very excited. Thank you so much. Have a great night.